Star Wars Strikeforce ShantIPole, an adventure for use with Star Wars the role-playing game. In an embattled asteroid field, rebel heroes desperately struggle to save Admiral Akbar and keep his secret projects from falling into Imperial hands. Star Wars Strikeforce ShantIPole. Introduction. Welcome to another Star Wars RPG adventure. If you want to be a player in this adventure, you should stop reading now. This book contains information for the game master only. Players who read ahead spoil the adventure for themselves and others. In this adventure, a group of rebels must rescue a high-ranking Alliance officer and a secret project from an embattled asteroid field. Hidden in the Roach asteroid field, home of the alien Verpine, lies a secret rebel base. Here, Commander Akbar oversees the construction of a new starfighter, the two-man B-Wing. As the adventure opens, the project is near completion. An Alliance command has sent rebel heroes to retrieve Akbar and the prototype B-Wings. The Empire knows of their activity, though, and has plans of its own for the new starfighter. Can the rebels rescue Akbar, his team, the peaceful Verpine, and the prototype starfighters from the attacking Imperial forces, then escort them out of the asteroid field without falling to the terrifying power of an Imperial fleet? These are the challenges of Strikeforce ShantIPole. Running a Star Wars adventure. Alien beings wander to and fro, TIE fighters scream overhead, blaster bolts whiz by. This is Star Wars, a universe full of action and excitement. To capture this feeling while role-playing, the game master must be familiar with the adventure material. No one has any fun when the undramatic pauses invade a crucial scene. Two TIE fighters come screaming in on your port side, explains the game master dramatically. Just let me read for a couple minutes to see what they do next. So much for maintaining the tension of the moment. Being unprepared spoils the fun and ruins the excitement of playing in Star Wars Galaxy. If you've only run a few Star Wars adventures, here are some hints on how to handle Strikeforce ShantIPole. First, read through the adventure completely to familiarize yourself with the character and the storyline. Next, before you begin play, go over the first 2 episodes carefully. In a typical evening of Star Wars role-playing game, it'll take your players a full session, 2 to 3 hours, to go through 2 episodes, although you can stop whenever you feel you've done enough for one evening. Once your players finish these episodes, stop play. As a suggestion, stop during some bit of action. This creates a cliffhanger ending. They'll leave your players eagerly awaiting the next session. Before resuming play, read through the next 2 episodes, and so on. Being prepared assures that you and your players will get the most out of every session of play. This adventure portrays Akbar prior to his promotion to Admiral. Preparing to play. If this is your first Star Wars adventure, you'll need to spend a few minutes helping your players select and customize their character templates. Several space battles occur in Strikeforce ShantIPole, so having a couple of characters skilled in piloting or gunnery is highly recommended. Next, give each new character 1,000 credits for purchasing equipment. In addition to purchased equipment, the Alliance provides PCs with a modified light freighter named Outrunner at the start of the adventure. If the PCs have their own ship, let them use it instead of the Alliance light freighter. If your players already have characters, feel free to let them use them. Remember, though, a group of rebels without a skilled pilot or gunner will be at a distinct disadvantage. Adventure materials. Let's take a moment now to go over the components found in Strikeforce ShantIPole. In addition to the adventure booklet, you'll find Star Wars Rules Upgrade. This 4-page folder contains important additions and clarifications for Star Wars, a role-playing game. We strongly suggest using the Rules Upgrade when running this adventure. The Pullout section. The 4-page pullout section includes a script that starts the adventure, the maps of Akbar's command base and research station ShantIPole's hangar bay, the key to the full-color map, and non-player character templates. Full-color map. This map details the interior of Research Station ShantIPole. The text tells you when to display it for your players. Additional materials. Other items needed to play this adventure include Star Wars role-playing game, hardcover book, pencils, paper, lots of 6-sided dice, Star Wars source book, campaign pack, miniature sets, Starfighter combat game, useful, not necessary for play. Difficulty numbers and game balance. As GM, you must modify this adventure to fit your particular group of players using difficulty number scale found in the rules upgrade. For example, the text says PCs need to make each easy dexterity roll to accomplish a given task. Turn to the difficulty numbers in the rules and assign a number between 6 and 10. Attributes are capitalized, italicized, skills only italicized. In addition, the number and temple types of PCs in your group affects the outcome of each encounter. This adventure is designed for 6 beginning player characters with a good mix of skills. If you have fewer PCs, you may need to scale down the encounters accordingly. Adventure background. The months after the victory at Yavin were a time of great hope for the rebellion. Following the Death Star's destruction, volunteers and recruits from across the galaxy poured in to swell the Alliance's ranks. Among those recruits were rebel pilots who found lumbering Imperial convoys easy pickings for their speedy starfighters. Manpower and supplies were on the rise, and it seemed that the dark days would soon be over. All that changed, and their Imperial fleet began to relentlessly hunt for the hidden rebel base. To make matters worse, the Empire added a new vessel to its supply convoys, the powerful Nebulon B frigate. At 194 million standard credits, the Nebulon B cost less than 1/20th of the price of an Imperial Star Destroyer. With its 24 laser batteries, 2 TIE fighter squadrons, and heavy shielding, Nebulon B is more than a match for the lightly armed rebel raiders. Since the vessel's introduction, damage to raiding parties has climbed so dramatically that Alliance High Command has discontinued all attacks on Imperial convoys. Supply problems grow critical as the rebellion slowly strangles into submission. The Alliance has one hope to counter the deadly escort frigate. Everything depends on a daring plan proposed by a Mon Calamarian named Akbar. Akbar learned of the Nebulon B while he was Grand Moff Tarkin's personal slave. From what he saw of the vessel's overall design, Akbar determined that only an equally powerful capital ship, of which the Alliance has precious few, or specially equipped starfighters, could hope to stand against the escort frigate in combat. It is a decision of High Command to develop a new starfighter to handle this problem. And so, before the wreckage of the first failed convoy raid cooled, Akbar traveled the Roach system to seek the aid of a renowned race of shipbuilders, the Verpine. Using Akbar's vision and their own design skills, the insectoid Verpine began creating a technical work of art, the B-Wing starfighter. This heavy starfighter, capable of closing with an Imperial frigate and disabling its tie bays and hyperdrives, was to be the latest accomplishment of the slain and Corporeal hives. Soon, without effective escorts, the cargo transports would once again become easy targets. Under Akbar and his team of Alliance engineers, the Verpine have completed prototypes of the two-man B-Wing starfighter. The two-man B-Wing employs a unique firing compartment which allows the gunner to fire from a stable platform while the ship conducts evasive maneuvers. This results in a starfighter with significantly enhanced fire control. In addition, the new B-Wing carries more shielding and more firepower than any other Rebel or Imperial starfighter in production. Recent events. The Empire. Unknown to the Alliance, a member of Akbar's design team is an Imperial spy, Salin Glek. Akbar's lieutenant keeps District Commander Bane Nothos apprised of B-Wing's progress. Nothos could have crushed the Rebel project long ago, but instead elected to wait until the starfighter prototypes were completed before capturing them for the Empire. While somewhat risky, the district commander hopes this plan will lead to a promotion upon its successful completion. 3 days ago, Nothos received a signal from Glek indicating the time to move was almost upon them. Since then, Nothos has pulled escort craft out of his district convoys to form a strike fleet. He's also deployed long-range TIE recon fighters to patrol the outer perimeter of the asteroid field. He now waits for Glek's final signal. But just in case the spy fails, Nothos has ordered the strike fleet to prepare to blockade the entire Roach system. Even now, they are moving into position. The Alliance. Akbar and a team of Alliance engineers have been working from the Verpine to upgrade the original B-Wing design to fit the Rebellion's current need. 2 prototype two-man B-Wings have been completed and await shipping to the Rebel fleet. Once there, construction of new B-Wings will begin in earnest. Unfortunately, the Verpine's pacifistic nature keeps them from openly joining the rebellion. As a result, the task of replicating the B-Wings will fall on rebel engineers, who, though on hand throughout the design process, are hard-pressed to match the Verpine's natural talent for ship construction. Not surprisingly, Akbar's second assignment is to convince the Verpine to join the rebellion. The Verpine empathize strongly with the noble Akbar, a Calamarian pacifist turned warrior, but remain reluctant to commit to such a warlike course. Now a group of rebels are on their way to pick up Akbar, his team, and the prototypes. They should arrive just prior to the Imperial strike fleet. Episode 1, Into Roach Asteroid Field. Summary. The adventure opens with the Rebel PCs approaching the Roach asteroid field in Outrunner, a modified light freighter. They have orders to deliver a sealed and coded holodesk to Commander Akbar, leader of the Alliance asteroid base. As they near the field, 3 TIE fighters jump them. The rebels must dispatch the TIEs before continuing to Akbar's base. When they arrive, they learn the new B-Wing and meet Akbar, the Verpine, and the traitor Salin Glek. On the holodesk, Mon Mothma, a commander of the Alliance, orders the PCs to escort Akbar and the prototype B-Wings to a rebel rendezvous point in the Pothor system. Start the adventure. Hand your players a copy of the script from the plot section and assign each player a part. The parts are labeled first rebel, second rebel, so forth. If you have 6 players, each player reads one part. If you have fewer than 6, assign additional parts as necessary. Read the section below out loud and let your players begin the script. Read aloud. A long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. These are dark days for the Alliance. Using the new Nebulon B escort frigate and its mighty armaments, the Empire has virtually ended all raids on cargo convoys. Without the spoils from Imperial convoys, Rebel supplies have become dangerously low. This could spell the end of the rebellion. But all is not lost. On a remote base in the Roach asteroid field, Commander Akbar and his team desperately work to complete a new starfighter capable of neutralizing the Nebulon B. Even now, a team of brave rebels approach the asteroid field under orders to pick up Akbar, his team, and the starfight prototypes and return them safely to Alliance High Command. If they fail, the struggle for freedom may indeed be over. Point to the player assigned the part of First Rebel. He or she starts reading the script aloud. When the script is finished, pick up the action with the TIE Patrol below. TIE Patrol. When the players finish the script, read the following passage out loud. 3 TIE fighters bank right, screaming towards you in tight formation. Your sensors indicate a high concentration of energy as the TIE's weapon ports just below the blaster bolts lance across your ship's bow. The TIEs, part of Nothos' advanced patrol, have orders to stop all craft traveling to and from Roach. PCs making a moderate technology roll identify these as TIE RC starfighters. They know that these craft are quick and maneuverable, but lightly armed. TIE RCs can operate over longer distances than their combat equivalents, making them perfect for recon missions. The TIEs fire warning blasts across the freighter's bow, then broadcast instructions, ordering the ship to follow them. The TIEs want Outrunner to accompany them to their command frigate on the outer edge of the system. If the PCs submit to these orders, turn to capture. If the PCs decide to fight, refer to RPG Starship Combat or Star Wars Combat, depending on whether you're using the role-playing Starship Combat rules or Star Wars board game. As the battle nears its conclusion, turn to finishing off TIE Patrol. RPG Starship Combat. The Rebel ship begins the battle at medium range with the TIEs and at 1 greater than long range with the asteroid field. The Rebels can attempt to escape into the asteroids or close with the TIEs. If they opt to ignore the TIEs, the Imperial ships chase them. It takes 4 rounds to enter the field. 1 to close to long range, 1 to reach medium range, 1 to reach short range, 1 to enter. The TIEs continue their pursuit into the asteroid field. Inside the asteroid field, all ship pilots must make a moderate starship piloting roll every round as one of their actions to avoid slamming into an asteroid. Any ship that fails to hit an asteroid and rolls for damage, asteroids do 3D damage. When attacking, the TIEs try to get as close as possible. They use all available combat options: speed, gunnery, combined fire, and evasion. Once 2 of the 3 TIEs are destroyed, the remaining TIE attempts to retreat back to its command frigate. 2 successful rolls to avoid asteroids and 2 successive rounds. The battle rages through deadly asteroid field. 2 successful rolls to avoid asteroids and 2 successive rounds are required to escape the asteroid field. If the PCs follow the TIE, they must make the rolls as well. Once in clear space, the TIE attempts to increase its range to 1 greater. If it succeeds, it reaches the escort fighter, the frigate. The PCs can continue to close, but will see the large vessel in the distance. If they move closer, they are caught in the ship's tractor beam. Go to capture. Rebel modified light freighter. Hyperdrive multiplier ×2. Sublight speed 2D. Maneuverability 0D. Hull 4D. Weapons 2 laser cannons fire independently. Fire control 2D. Damage 4D. Shields 1D. TIE RE Starfighter, Hyperdrive multiplier 0, sublight speed 5D, maneuverability 2D plus 2, hull 2D, weapons 1 laser cannon, fire control 2D, damage 2D plus 2, shields 9, starship piloting 40 plus 2, starship gunnery 40 plus 2. Star Warriors combat. To fight this battle using Star Warrior system, apply glue or rubber blah 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 blah. We're not using Star Warriors. Captured. If the PCs surrender or are disabled by the TIEs, improvise the following scenes. The TIEs lead the rebels back to their waiting command frigate on the edges of the system. Once close enough, the frigate engages its tractor beams and reels the PC's freighter in. Inside the docking bay, stormtroopers swarm aboard the freighter in search of contraband. If the PCs haven't hidden the holodisc, the stormtroopers find it. If someone did hide it, that person makes an opposed hide sneak roll against a stormtrooper search. Stormtroopers don't find the disc. As a stormtrooper searches such an Imperial officer questions the rebels, he demands to know their business in the sector. If the PCs surrender without a fight, then any reasonable story they make up satisfy that. If they put up a fight, they need to come up with a very good cover story and make a difficult. Once they convince the officer of their innocence, he gives them some warning and lets them go about the business. A weak cover story, failed Conwell, belligerent PCs, or discovery holodeck put the rebels in jeopardy. While the Imperials attempt to break the disk's coding, PCs are placed in ship's detention. You have to improvise an escape attempt or simply inform the players they failed their mission and create new characters and try again. Finishing off the TIE Patrol. As the PCs prepare to take out the last TIE RC, read the following passage. The final TIE darts away from your ship, trying to use its speed to full advantage. Your gunner has its in its sights, but it's quickly moving out of range. The targeting arrows line up, a gentle squeeze of the trigger, and the TIE fighter disappears in a colorful fireball. Sparkling fragments fly by, fading into the silence of space. Once the TIEs are defeated, the PCs will continue into the asteroid field and onto the rebel base. The ship is equipped with a receiver that will lead them to a homing device broadcasting from the base. Even if the PCs were able to stop the TIEs before contacting was made with the command ship, it won't be long before the Imperials arrive in full force. Already, Nothos' fleet is moving in, and soon the asteroid field will be surrounded. Roach Asteroid Field. The Roach Asteroid Field is a cluster of rocks varying in size from tiny meteorites to large planetoids, circling a small yellow sun. This extremely old field, located in the Roach system, appears rather orderly for a whirling storm of space debris. Its asteroids travel almost predictably elliptical paths around the system's star. Of course, within an asteroid field, almost predictable still means trouble for visiting ships. Pilots must constantly be on guard against impacting asteroids that suddenly bounce into the path of their vessel, hull-piercing micrometeorites, and dense areas with no room to maneuver. And in an asteroid field, engine failure results in certain death. A patient pilot can pick his way through the Roach field to the rebel base by making 4 easy starship piloting rolls. Pilots hurrying through the field or those trying to navigate while engaged in combat must make 5 moderate starship piloting rolls to reach the base. Each failed roll results in collision with an asteroid. Asteroids do 3D damage. Minox and space slugs inhabit the Roach field. The field is also home to Verpine, a race of insectoid bipeds with natural talent for shipbuilding and other technological pursuits. These aliens, allies of the Alliance, live within the honeycombed interiors of the larger asteroids. 2 Verpine asteroids have been modified to handle the Rebel project. The Rebel command base houses Akbar and a staff of Alliance engineers. They oversee the project from here, but the actual testing and construction take place at research station ShantIPole, a large asteroid deep in the heart of the field. Akbar's command base. Akbar's rebel command base is a strange cross between a high-tech community and a cave. Control panels and other machinery built into stone walls jut out from the most unexpected places. Corridor and ceilings have no uniform width or height, and subdued check lighting illuminates the entire base complex. About 50 Verpine and a half-dozen rebels live and work on the command base, coordinating the activity of the other asteroid colonies involved in the 2-man B-Wing project. All design and construction takes place on the large asteroid research station ShantIPole, but other asteroids are needed for supplies and communications. Once the PCs have navigated Outrunner through this asteroid belt by making the required number of starship piloting rolls, they come upon an hourglass-shaped asteroid. The single beacon they follow originates here, from deep within the Rebel command base. Read aloud. You have followed the single beacon to an hourglass-shaped asteroid. Points of light penetrate the asteroid's outer crust, highlighting air vents and repulsor beam projectors. As your ship circles the spinning chunk of rock, you notice an opening in the asteroid's side. It appears to be a hangar bay, and several figures can be seen moving within its lighted interior. As you approach, your comm unit crankles to life. Freighter, identify yourself immediately and state your business. If the rebels give the code word mentioned in the script and then identify themselves honestly, they receive clearance to land. If they don't supply the code word but identify themselves as rebels, they receive clearance but are met by an armed party when they land.